All right, recently I went out and bought a new cell phone, and when I got there, they asked me if I wanted to trade in my old cell phone for a new one. I think there was either a $300 rebate or $500 rebate. I don't remember. It was pretty significant. And I got to thinking about all the stuff that I had on my phone and whether or not I wanted to just trade that in. And they said, well, we can help you back up your files and get them over to the new phone. And then we can do all that factory reset stuff for you later. And I go, I just didn't like that idea. So I thought today I would go over a little bit about what you should do if you get a new cell phone. And so I need you to think for a moment about all the stuff that you have on your phone. And it's really important to understand that this is not something that you just want to hand over to somebody without making sure everything has been transferred or deleted off of the old device. So let's take a look at some ideas around what you should do with that old phone, okay? All right, so what I've started out with here is basically talking about backing up your file. Now, you can either do a cloud or a local copy. So what's a cloud copy? So, if you're using one of the cloud storages, maybe you're, an Apple storage option, or using the Apple backup, whatever you're using for your device, that could be a cloud option. If you don't have that in place, maybe you can look at backing it up to your computer as opposed to backing it up into the cloud. Either way, figure out which one works for you in order to try to move the data across, okay? So again, it could be that you're hooking up a USB cable, hooking it to your computer in order to transfer those files, okay? All right, let's take a look at some of the things you're going to want to make sure that you're getting off of the old device. I've got pictures, music, and video. Listen, the cell phone today has basically replaced the camera for so many people, right? I mean, when's the last time you've reached for a camera to take pictures? Most people are using that cell phone now. The cameras in those phones are phenomenal. The new phone I picked up has got like 108 megapixel camera in it, or lens in there. It's got can do 8K video. It's got everything I need to do pictures and videos and so forth. So if you've got pictures or if you've got music, videos, things like that, you need to make sure you're copying that over, okay? For some, it's everything. Pictures of the baby, pictures of the graduations, could be that sporting events, whatever it may be, the pictures are going to be important to you. So you want to make sure that you're getting those over to the other phone. Files and documents. You still have files on your mobile device. Some folks will actually create documents on the mobile device. Maybe somebody sent you a document. You've edited that document or you're storing it on your mobile device. You're going to want to move that over as well. I keep saying mobile device, but this could also be if you're getting like a new iPad, for instance, or tablet. The same scenario. You got the old one, maybe you're transferring stuff over to the new one. Then keep that in mind as well. All right, messages and email. A lot of stuff on the phones when it comes to messages these days and email. Golly, Moses, on email, I mean, everybody communicates today usually in one of these two fashions, either text messages or emails, lots of that information. More importantly, it's a lot of sensitive stuff inside those applications. So you want to make sure that if you've got anything on the old device that you want to transfer over, you need to make sure you're getting that. We're going to talk a little bit in just a minute about getting rid of that content as well. All right, and then I have down files from other programs. Okay, you may have some other programs that creates files on your mobile device. So if you do, go through every application that you use and just determine, is there anything on that old mobile device that I need to transfer over to the new one? Now, some programs, when I got the phone, it says I could hook up the old phone to the new phone, either through a wireless connection or through a cable that was supplied in the box, and it would transfer all that over. And it did a pretty good job. There were some things that it didn't transfer over, very minimal. So I just went through to make sure, and the stuff that it didn't transfer, then I went ahead and got that. And so just keep in mind that you need to make sure you go through everything to make sure it's transferred over. This is one of the reasons why I don't like trading in the old phone, because it seems like there's always something that didn't make it over, or something that I need to refer back to on the old device. And I had a lot of that going on here, where I had to keep going back to the old device in order to transfer over some different things. And we'll touch on some of those in just a few minutes. All right, so what's the next item here on the list? Let's go up to removing accounts from apps. Okay, I need you to kind of wrap your head around this one for a second, because this one's it's a little bit on the complicated side, but it's not really. I just need you to think about what I'm getting ready to tell you. So you have a lot of different apps on your device, and inside of those apps you have accounts that you've added to those particular apps, right? So if you can, you need to sign out, or we want to remove those accounts from these devices. Okay? If you've got email, you have things like Exchange or Gmail or Apple Mail, whatever you're using for your email, get rid of the account within the application. Go into the application. Generally, if you can't figure it out, if it's a work-related phone, your IT group at work can help you. You can also check with, for instance, if you're buying the new phone, ask them to help you there when you're making that purchase. You want to remove the account from the application. We're going to get rid of the app in a minute, but I want you to get rid of the accounts to minimize the chance that if somebody can recover that phone, meaning that they can unerase the phone or recover anything that's on the phone, you don't want this kind of data stored that they would then be able to recover, right? You don't want them getting access to your email or other types of content on these devices. Multi-factor accounts. Okay, so I use multi-factor authentication all the time. Everywhere I sign in today, I use the multi-factor authentication. We've done a show on that in the past. We'll put some notes down below about multi-factor authentication. Basically, you're putting in your username, you put in your password. Then the site's going to ask you to enter a code, 6-digit code. You put that in, and then it allows you to log in. Pretty much every site that I use now, I've enabled that multi-factor authentication. I want to have that extra layer of security. So when I went to transfer those over, it actually during the software transfer, it transferred the accounts over, but it didn't, or transfer the applications, but it didn't transfer the accounts on the new phone. So I had to set those back up. And so these are things you want to remove, but notice I have a little note here. It says transfer first. You want to make sure that that works on the new device. So what I did is I went into the old app. It says scan this barcode. It transferred it over. Done. I wanted to make sure, though, that I had that working before I removed any of the accounts from within the apps that I use for multi-factor authentication. All right, Signal, Telegraph, browsers, and so forth. Okay, these are other programs that allows you to do texting, right? If you want to text through Signal, instead of using the texting program built into the mobile device, you want to remove these accounts from there. Telegraph is another type of one of those programs. Browsers, you may have logins in your browser. You may have logged into something. Just get rid of any logins or log out of everything within those browser sessions that you have open. Home automation. How many of you are using the Ring doorbell? How many of you have other types of stuff like your thermostat and so on? Those are all accounts that you're logged into. Okay, you want to get those. You want to log out of those, because if again you want to minimize the chance that if somebody recovers your device, you don't want those accounts still on there that they may be able to get access to these devices. I put down appliances, TVs, cookware. I know you might think, what do you mean cookware? You can log into your crock pot now, or you can log into your air fryer or whatever it may be. You know, last thing you want to do is be in the middle of cooking something, the next thing you know, somebody jacks up the temperature on you, right? So anything that you have like that, log out. Camera apps, if you have a DVR, NVR, Ring doorbell, things like that, go ahead and get, just log out. Now listen, logging out of these, when I said browsers earlier, you know when you go into like a social media account, like Facebook for instance, and you notice that the next time you go into it, you don't have to log in because it's remembering your password. So if you go and you use a computer, and somebody else's computer, and you log in with your username and password, in the upper right-hand corner you click on that X, or on your app you just close the browser window, it's remembering who you are. So the next person that comes right along can actually just go right into Facebook and they don't even need your username or password. So just log out of all these accounts, okay? Especially if you're going to trade your phone in, you're going to want to make sure you're doing this in case somebody else gets this device, then you don't want them to try to recover anything that's on there. All right. So we just talked about the signing out of other, these accounts. Here's some other items here: iCloud, iTunes, Apple ID, iMessaging, Apple Music. Sign out. Just get out of these accounts. If you have anything signed in on your device, go ahead and close that. Gmail, Google Play, any type of other accounts similar to those. Social media we just talked about, Facebook, shopping sites. Amazon. Very important one, right? And there's others like that. If you are signed into these accounts, you're using any of these apps that are signed in, sign out of those accounts. Just this way you minimize the chance that somebody's going to be able to get into those accounts, okay? Next item, memory card. Now, a lot of the newer devices don't have memory cards that you can use, right? They've gone to fixed memory to where you buy a phone, it's got 256 gigs of RAM in it, so that's all you get. Some of the older devices, you still have the ability to put a memory card in there to expand your memory. If you have an older device, tablet, whatever it is, and it has one of these memory cards in, often there's data on those cards. You need to recover that memory card. If they tell you that you have to turn it in with the phone, you don't need to turn that in with the phone. They don't need that. Just take it with you. Make sure that anything that's on there is transferred off of the card. We're going to talk about wiping the device in a moment. Just if you're going to leave it in the phone and turn it in, you're going to want to make sure that you're wiping the memory card as well. Again, more likely the newer devices today that you have will not have a memory card, but if you have an older device, you may still have one. All right. This is really important to you, and I'm going to put some links down below on this, so this way you can do this. This is probably the most important step of all, and that's resetting the phone back to factory defaults. Do not depend on the carrier or somebody else to do that for you. If you're going to trade that phone in, maybe you're getting a $500, $800 credit on trading in your old device. After you've gone through and you've made sure that all of the data is off of the old device, and you're going to you're getting ready to trade this in, you want to see this done right in front of you, okay? You want to reset this back to factory defaults. So I'm going to put a link below on how to do this for both an iPhone as well as how to do it on an Android type of phone. Often they'll say they will do this for you, right? They will, when it gets sent to wherever it's going, then they will reset it for you. If you were just to do a little bit of research and like for instance, do a quick Google search and say, what happens to my old phone? There are times that this stuff just gets sold off overseas and all kinds of other places. Listen, I wouldn't want my phone just floating around, not knowing who's going to get access to it. And even if you're handing it down to someone else, maybe grandkid or something like that, children, wipe them out. I had somebody that I know, won't mention the name because I might get in trouble on this one, handed it down to the grandchild, and they were in there playing games and making purchases because they forgot to take the credit card information out. And next thing you know, it's like, what happened? Where did this charge come from? It was a pretty significant charge as well. And so you want to reset it back to factory defaults to minimize the chance that something like that might happen. So got iPhone set that back to factory defaults. Same thing on the Android factory defaults. We'll put in a link down below. It's a definite step that you don't want to miss, where you forget to take and reset this back. Definitely not something that I would depend on somebody else to do. and then now it doesn't get done, or somebody else then goes in and gets access to stuff they shouldn't get access to before they reset the phone back. That's one of the reasons why I kept saying pull these accounts out, to make sure that if you forget to reset it back to factory defaults, you trade it in, and now somebody else has it. If you've taken all these accounts out, you've minimized the chance that they're going to be able to recover or possibly clone your phone or something else that's not going to be a good thing. So make sure you do that, okay? All right. So that's it on doing this. These phones contain so much information today about who you are, your whole life. The last thing you want to do is allow this to get out into somebody else's hands where something bad can happen. And things like email are very important to you, because so much is tied to your email today. So if you were to let somebody else get access to your email, and then let's say they determine where you bank or something like that, they can go out to these sites, say, I forgot my password, and where does it send it? That sends it right over to your email. If they've got access to your email, they can reset these passwords to something that they have. Definitely not going to be a pleasant day for you if they're able to get access to those types of accounts. So get this thing reset back to factory defaults. Hey, listen, I hope you enjoy the show today. If you find this content useful, how about subscribe down below, and remember to ring that bell so that as new content comes out, you'll get notified that the new content is available. So click on that subscribe button, ring that bell, and we'll see you next time.